I've been annoyed a couple of times by Onyeka. I also think she victim blames a lot. And when she gets a reaction, she feels she's a victim.
Okay, so the housemates had their diary sessions today, but then it took a different turn. And quite frankly, I enjoyed the sessions, particularly Sean and TJ's, because Sean literally entered into Big Brother. You know how you just get into character and you're asking questions and poking, even though Big Brother did not particularly ask them to poke, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. And I want us to talk about it, aside the fact that there was this conversation between TJ and Onyeka, which got TJ quite upset and overly agitated, so we're going to talk about all of that in this video.
People that haven't gone through that don't get through that.
You're saying I'm not meant to be here because of what happened.
What's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Austin Betha. I'm excited to have you here. Now, if this is your first time coming across my channel, hi, I'm so excited to have you here. Please make sure to hit on the subscribe button before you leave. Also, give this video a thumbs up right now or at the end if you enjoyed watching it, okay? And of course, to my returning Bethans, you already know how I feel about you. I love you so much. You guys are the absolute loves of my life. I love you so much because you are my LOML. Yeah, yes, whatever that means. But guys, let's just get right into it, okay? The housemates had their diary sessions today. Well, not all of them, and their diary sessions kind of took a different turn because Big Brother was not acting today as Big Brother. Rather, the housemates were the Big Brothers of their fellow housemates. Okay, so apparently they had to choose. I didn't watch that part, how they eventually got to choose names, but I'm guessing you choose maybe ballots, Biggie's way of just sharing them in the house. First one I watched was Kelly Ray being the Big Brother and Wani having her diary sessions with Kelly Ray, and then of course there was Victoria playing Big Brother while OC was having his diary sessions with Victoria, and there was also Handy being Big Brother, and Suj having his diary session with Handy. Cassia also played Big Brother, and Anita was having her diary session with Cassia, her own Big Brother. And then of course Sean, yes, Sean was playing Big Brother, and he was playing Big Brother to TJ, who was having his diary sessions, okay? And basically the questions that Big Brother had told them to ask. So if you're playing Big Brother, there was already an envelope in the house that contained about 5 or 6 questions that the acting Big Brother for that particular housemate would get to ask. So let me quickly read through the questions, okay? Maybe not fully, but so that you have an idea. So the first question is, briefly describe your journey in the house for the past 8 weeks, and who were you before the house and who have you become? That was the first question. The second one is, what are the fears you've had prior to the show, and how has being in the house improved that? Now the third question is the first impressions they had about their fellow housemates. Have your impressions changed? Why? And then mention the names. The fourth one is, have the dynamics changed in the house? And by this, Biggie wants to know if the dynamics of the game has changed. He also went on to ask the fifth question, who do you trust the most and who do you trust the least? Mention the names, okay? The last question is, who is your least and your most annoying housemate and why? Explain. So these are basically the questions. Anybody who is playing Big Brother gets to ask these questions, and whoever is having their diary sessions, gets to answer. And to be honest, none of them said anything out of place, But then when it got to Sean and TJ, which is actually one of the reasons I'm here, Sean had, sort of embodied that whole character of Big Brother, because he literally was asking questions that they did not even ask him. Okay, like for example, the question where Big Brother had said, who do you trust the most and who do you trust the least? TJ was supposed to just maybe mention the name and just keep it moving, but Sean is like, no. So what made you feel that way? Why did you think that is? He just kept probing and probing and probing, and I just kept saying, Sean, nobody asked you to do all of this. But a part of me was enjoying it because, again, earlier today, TJ had a conversation with Onyeka, right? And that conversation had sort of triggered a lot of reactions on the internet, because in that conversation, Onyeka had somehow tried to remind us that TJ had said something about, oh, they are trying to do Igbo, whatever, the whole tribalistic talk that happened in week 4. She brought it back in week 8. So she was having that conversation. But then she was coming from a place of, oh no, I'm not even saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying that, over time, watching the show, being a fan, I've noticed that people like you don't really go far in the game, especially after what you said and all of that. But then for some reason, I have prayed for you. And again, I think that grace is something that has kept you here. There was one day you were looking down. I told you to look up, raise your head up, because I'm just like, Onyeka, why are we suddenly talking about something that happened in week 4? Why are we bringing it back? This is something that happened in week 4 that obviously TJ was never proud of it. I mean, when Big Brother called him out on it, he sort of felt very embarrassed, just saying all of that. You guys remember the whole conversation about the Mbadiwe boys trying to form a clique in the house, and TJ felt like it was being tribalistic, the Igbo people, Ndine. Remember, like, since when? Since when did that happen? Like, why did Onyeka think it was okay to start talking about it now? And a lot of people on the internet kept saying, oh, Onyeka is doing this on purpose. She's deliberately trying to remind the viewers, reasons why they shouldn't vote for TJ, because at some point he had said some tribalistic things. He has done this, he has done that. And guys, yeah, TJ clocked that almost immediately, because TJ was like, first of all, Onyeka, I don't appreciate us having this conversation. Like, this happened weeks back, and this is something that I wasn't proud of. I'm trying to forget. And for some reason you think it is okay to bring it back up. Please do not have this conversation with anybody else, because the feedback I'm getting from you now is like, you're telling me that I don't deserve to be here because of what I said. And obviously what I said I wasn't proud of. I'm trying to move past it. Now you bringing it back up, it is not nice. It is not nice. And I've heard you have conversations here and there where you're trying to make it seem like I shouldn't be here, that I don't deserve to be here. Like, he literally just told her to stop it, because he knows for sure that she will definitely go and have the conversation with other people. So he told her, look, I would not appreciate it if I ever find out that, aside this conversation we're having now, you go about speaking about this same thing with other people. And the reason he was telling her this in such a calm manner was because, of course, they share some level of friendship. And Onyeka was just like trying to say, oh no, that's not what I meant, or I was not coming from. There's no reason why we should be talking about it. Like, I don't see the reason. I'm sorry, but I don't see it. But then I just love how TJ handled it and just put her in her place by telling her, look, I don't appreciate this conversation. I don't want you to speak about it again, and please don't remind me of something that I'm trying to forget. You know that people are watching this show, and you raising this topic is definitely going to remind them of something that they also have probably forgotten. He just wasn't having that conversation. So listening to Sean probe, as to who your least housemate was, and he had mentioned Onyeka, I'm like, I get it. I mean, I get why. Because he had mentioned that for him, he doesn't really get angry easily. But then in this case, in this moment, if they ask him who his least favorite housemate is, he would mention Onyeka. And, it's because of how he's feeling in the moment, which is why I said that everything he said had to do with that conversation they had earlier today. I'm thinking that if they hadn't had that conversation, I don't think he would have mentioned Onyeka's name, but just seeing how he felt after that conversation, it was just easy peasy, him mentioning Onyeka's name. And Sean was like, okay, so explain, like, how? Like, why are you feeling that way towards her? And the guy just beats around the bush, not necessarily answering Sean per se, but just saying, oh, I've gotten feedback from her, you say certain things to her, and then, she doesn't take it. She likes to play the victim card, she likes to do this, she likes to do that, she's always happy when everything is going her way, but then when you give her some level of feedback as to how she's behaving, she doesn't take it, and for him there's a blind spot there and she needs to work on it. So he did not particularly tell Sean what it was, but if you listened in on that conversation earlier, you would know exactly what he was talking about. But like I mentioned earlier, I totally enjoyed Sean's session, even though Big Brother did not send him all these ones. But yeah, it was totally nice to see that he could just take on the role of Big Brother, because the rest of the housemates would just come, briefly describe your journey in the house, that one will talk. Friends that you have had in the past, that one will talk. I'm like, no, Big Brother doesn't talk like this. In fact, a lot of them are like, hello Big Brother, how are you, Big Brother? Big Brother does not respond. Okay, hello Big Brother. Big Brother will just go, this is your direct session. He goes straight to the question. But people are there, hello Big Brother, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. How are hello Big? They ask how are you. Big, the answer. Even if you ask her, the answer. So for me, the only person that embodied that today wholesomely was Sean. Even though, again, but But yeah, again, not all the housemates had their diary sessions today. You know, after Tjay and Sean came out, Big Brother had called Suj to the diary room to tell him that it was a wrap for today, and of course they would continue tomorrow. Now this gives them enough time to just work on their wager, you know, their movie production and all of that. But aside that, yeah, there were conversations here and there. There was a conversation between Onyeka, Ozzy, OC, and Sean, and it was basically Onyeka acting as a therapist, you know, just asking them questions. You know, has anybody ever broken your trust before? Who was it? Why? This and that. And, you know, Sean's answer again sort of stood out to me. You know, he's like, you know what? If we can always break the trust of God, you know, we'll tell God today, God, please, this thing I did yesterday, I'm not going to do it again. But then we end up doing the same thing over and over again. Like, who is he to then hold that against anybody when they do something? You know, for him, he's not someone who trusts really easily. But then again, he trusts people. Like, he just gives you some level of trust, and he expects that you will break it because you're human. And to be honest, if you live your life like that, you will not really be having high expectations when people want to do some things or people say certain things to you. You'll probably not be pissed. And I think that to a large extent, I am actually like that, because I know that people are just prone to breaking your trust. Like, yeah, it's just in our human nature, you know. So I don't really expect so much from people. And so listening to Sean today, I sort of saw myself reflecting in him, you know, just in that area, not in every area, okay, just in that area, because I don't trust people so easily, which was something that he also pointed out. But then again, I easily trust people. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I meet you, we're talking, I like you, I give you some level of trust. Not like I've trusted you 100%, no. But I just give you some level of trust. And, you know, it is left for you to sort of, what's it called now, win more of my trust or just lose it completely. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, just listening to Sean, you know, it made me feel like, oh, okay, so there are actually people like you out there. Guys, let me know, did you listen in on that conversation? And then of course, you know, Sean asking questions. At this time, Suj had joined their group, and you know, by group I mean they were just sitting together, you know, in the lounge. And you know, Sean was saying, so, you know, imagine that they mention your name, what is one thing you want them to remember you for? You know, Sean had said for him, honesty. You know, he just wants them to see him and think honesty. You know, Suj said he wants them to see him and think, oh, this guy that never gives up, you know, regardless of what's going on, he keeps fighting. You know, they had asked Onyeka, and Onyeka had said powerful, and they were like, powerful in what way? Like, what do you mean? She's like, you know, like spiritually, you now be powerful spiritually, and then, you know, it translates into the physical. But then at the point when she was trying to explain further, they went on a break, you know. So yeah, I did not really catch all of that. But yes, that's mostly what has been happening in the house, you know, for the past couple of hours, you know, the whole diary session thing, and then of course, you know, all of this chit chat here and there. So let me know, guys, do you enjoy the diary sessions today? Do you think that the housemates were being completely honest? You know, seeing that they were talking to a fellow housemate, regardless of the fact that you're acting as Big Brother, you're still a housemate. And so every information that you're getting from that person somehow is stored in your brains. Unlike Big Brother, who we know for sure is not going to have conversations with other housemates, you know. Just let me know, what do you think about that? Do you think the housemates were completely honest, you know, in terms of the things they were saying, or were they being careful? Do you think they were being careful? Do you think they just said it as they would have said it if you were to be Big Brother, like actual Big Brother asking them? Just let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section, okay? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. I love you guys so much, and of course I would see you on the next one, okay? Bye.